Hello everyone! Today I thought I would try and do a little tutorial on how to change line texture and color. You can do a little bit of this in PetWorkshop, but it's quite limited. So we're going to go into a bit more detail on the lines section in LNZPro and how to make those changes. First of all, I've created this cat that I'm envisioning is going to end up being a kind of calico pattern, so blue and cream with white legs, white undersides, and I want the top half, so the blue area at the moment, to have a semi-transparent mottled pattern on it, whereas the white on the legs and everything will just stay completely white as it is. So the first thing I want to do looking at this cat is I want to get rid of this white line here that's connecting the elbow and the shoulder. I don't really like that. I want it to connect the other way, and then I'm going to add some paintballs here to make the transition smoother. The way that lines work is that they take on the texture of the ball that they start from and then connect to the end ball. So for example, in this case, we see that the ankle ball is here, the line emanates from here and then connects to the shoulder. And that's why the line is white, because it's taking on the characteristics of this ball that it's starting from. It's also going to have the same texture as this ball. And we can see that if we go to textures and we change this one to be not transparent, so show texture unchanged, you can see that it's connecting, it's starting from here and it's connecting there, and it's gotten this line's texture. I'm going to change that back now. Okay, I'm just going to show you, if you go to the drop down menu here and you go to lines, there is an option here to change the line colors. So if I take this and I change the line color, I just click, it's immediately changed. But what it hasn't done is change the texture. So if I go back and I do this again and I say show texture unchanged, you see that it's still going in that direction there. And if I put that back as it was and I show you this texture, which is the upper body texture, you see that there's this little blue bit that isn't that texture. And on this side, you can see that it's not on the white area either. There is no way to change this in PetWorkshop. This has to be changed in LNZPro. So let's go ahead and show you how to do that. I'm not going to save this, or actually I will save this because I would like to show you what happens when you have saved. Did I click save there? Yeah. When you save this change of color, what it's actually doing in LNZPro. So open up your LNZPro and go to File, Open, navigate to your breed. I've got my orange short hair, which is directly in my game. Then you want to go to the line section, so expand this, and then you want to click on this. Don't worry, you can't really do anything bad by clicking on these things. I know that when people first start with LNZPro, they're a little bit nervous of what they might do. It looks kind of complicated, but it's fine. Just make sure you have backups of everything. And don't be afraid to play around with it. We're not going to go into all the different sections, but you can see that every section has a little title header area like this, like little one here. We're going to scroll down until we find lines. Here we go. This is lines. And you see that the columns are actually labeled at the top here. It tells you what each of them is doing. So you see that this is the start ball, this is the end ball. What that means is that the line starts at ball number 2 and it ends at ball number 3. And every line you see here, every line of code you see here corresponds to one line in the pet that's connecting one ball to another. Obviously, when you start out, you're not going to immediately know which ball numbers are which, but that's fine because there is a helpful chart. If you open up your help in LNZPro and then go to general editing information, here you go, you can click on ball numbers and it gives you a chart. This is for dogs. The cat one is here. So we're looking at the shoulder and we want to find the shoulder and the elbow. Sorry, so you need to find where the elbow is in this list, and you see the left elbow is 12, the right elbow is 13, and the shoulders are 38 and 39. If I minimize this and go back to my lines list, I can scroll down and look for where 12 and 13 are connecting to 38 and 39. So here we go. This is our left elbow to shoulder line is 12 it starts from 12, which is the elbow, and connects to the shoulder at 38. And then you can see that I've actually changed the color here. So this is what happens when I change the color in PetWorkshop. It changes this column here, which is it's the color column. That makes sense, right? So you actually don't need to do this, and I would suggest that you don't unless you have a very specific situation. Instead, let's return this back to -1. And what we're going to do is just reverse the direction of the lines instead. And that's going to also make the texture reverse too. So that's very simple. All you have to do is tell the game that it's not going to be drawing the line from 12 to 38. It's going to be drawing it from 38 to 12. So we just type in 38, 12, and I'm going to do the same for the right shoulder and elbow. So it's going to be 39. Make sure that I type 39, not 38. And 13. By the way, if you get these wrong, nothing drastically horrible happens. It just ends up with the line connecting to the wrong ball, and it looks weird, and you have to come back and fix it. So don't be afraid of making these kinds of edits. Nothing terrible is going to happen, and even if it does, just have backups. It's not an issue. So I'm going to save this, and then if we go back to PetWorkshop, I'll load it up again. And you see it has now reversed both the texture and the line. And if I go ahead and both the texture and the color, and if I go ahead and just change this to transparent so you can see this, there you go, it's done that for the color as well. And that's it, there you have it. That's how you change texture and color for lines. It's very easy, it just requires you to go into LNZPro and figure out what the numbers are and make the little edit. Okay, I'm going to end this first tutorial here, but I'm going to carry on now and show you how to texture paintballs as well.